Are we live? Once again, capital letters?
All capital.
We always start that way, exactly. Good morning, everybody. Paul Christopher and Dylan Foss here from Gravity and Oxygen Fitness. Part of our commitment to proper knowledge to help your health in a fitness and nutrition standpoint. Today's a really important subject as the wind is blowing. As we are beginning our Noble Challenge this Saturday, our 30-day commitment of what?
No sugar, no alcohol, and no processed foods like this.
We've had a lot of topics so far, Dylan. This one I'm really jazzed up about. Cells versus poor quality food.
Yep.
I think this is the kind of topic that will really raise some eyebrows and make people consider what they're buying at the grocery store and what is sitting in their pantry. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. As you are our pedigreed, credentialed nutrition expert here at Gravity and Oxygen with your master's degree from LaSalle University in nutrition, I'm going to let you pave the way here, and I'm just going to be the questioner, and you're going to be the answer. All right? We talked about how cells communicate with each other through electricity, right? And that food is information.
Absolutely.
All right. So the kind of information we're telling ourselves based on the food choice we make is the paramount principle of this whole topic today, right?
Yep.
Please indulge.
So food is information, right? It is the building blocks that allow our bodies to evolve, right? We have skin. Our skin sheds, right? Our taste buds change based on what we're eating. Our muscles grow depending on what physical activity we may do in the gym, right? And also how we can give them the building blocks to repair because it is damage to the muscle. And our brain evolves based off of the food that we put in our body. So all those things are always changing and evolving, and the food that we give it is the information that it takes and runs with.
And that's the big thing, that people are misinterpreting the whole idea that fitness and overall health and wellness starts at the cellular level. The amount of sleep we get, the amount of water we drink, and the food we intake. So from a cellular level, that's why we're talking about this today. Continue.
So when you think about food as information, right, we have all of these foods here. Right?
Okay.
No. Well, technically, no. So this food is information, right? And when it is modified, right, it's something that it's prepackaged, it's something that's made elsewhere.
It has ingredients that we can't pronounce.
Very well put and simplistic, right? It's modified to some extent, and if food is information and it is the building block for our cells, then modified information is going to create what? Modified cells.
Bad software.
Absolutely. So you don't want to put a bad operating system into the computer, right?
Wouldn't run very well.
Yeah, or bad gas or oil, right, in your car.
Now we talk about the types of food we have. We have fats, we have proteins, and we have carbohydrates. And glucose is the cellular level of carbohydrates. Break those three down and what it does to the body on that cellular.
So I'll start with fats, right? Fats are very simple, and they're kind of the most important from a cellular level because they are the actual outer layer of the cell, the phospholipid bilayer, right? We learned all about that in biology, right? Way
It's a
back
really big
when.
word.
Yes.
Phospholipids.
Phospholipid bilayer, okay? It's two layers of fats, and that is what keeps our cell protected. It keeps the nucleus and the mitochondria, all these things in there, right? And when you have to create new cells, that membrane is the first thing you have to create and you have to uphold. If those fats that you're giving that new cell or the cell that's repairing have bad fats, now you're building a weak wall, right? If we were to build a gym, do you want concrete or do you want some drywall?
Concrete.
All right, that's going to stand
It's
out.
in the rain and wind's about to happen.
Absolutely, it's going to keep the good in, it's going to keep the bad out, right? So that's exactly how we have to think about ourselves. The food that we eat, the choices that we make are going to actually change from a fat standpoint the quality of our cell membranes, right? So we want to keep the good stuff in and the bad stuff out. And the most prolific thing we can talk about when it comes to fats is the brain. The brain evolves and it's made up of fat. It's about 3 pounds of just fatty tissue, right? And it's always evolving based upon what we're giving it. Why do we do single leg balancing exercises?
Stimulate your brain.
To stimulate your brain, right? So the food that we give it is going to allow it to evolve. The dementia, Alzheimer's, all those things are linked to actually just intaking bad fats most of the time.
So beyond just being fit, we can reduce perhaps terminal conditions down later in life based on the quality foods we're eating now.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about protein. So we are a gym, we exercise, we break down muscle on a microscopic level through strength training, and then how are we going to repair that with poor or good quality foods?
So the major protein everyone thinks about, right, is your meat, right? So if we'll just talk about that, it keeps it simple. So low quality meat, right? us energy into the brain. So these are things that we have to just be conscious of, and we have to know. If glucose is not used, right? If we take in excess glucose and it's not used through physical activity,
Where does it go?
it gets stored as fat. That's where you get the gut. That's where you get the side of the hips, the bottom of the arms, all of those things. Those are storage places because we're taking in too much glucose.
Right.
The most dense, weak, bad sugar placed, I don't even know how to explain it, right? These things are just packed with different kinds of sugar. They're packed, they're dense, okay? And they're filled with all sorts of other bad ingredients that just cross over our information.
Hydrogen oils, high fructose
Yes.
corn syrup. Yeah.
All of those things add up. So glucose is needed, right? Glucose is essential. The most basic form of glucose is fruits. It's what nature gave us to crave that sweet craving, or to not crave the sweet craving, to
Satiate.
satisfy the sweet craving.
Something tells me this was around thousands of years ago,
Yes.
and this was not.
So there's a great rule, right? If your great grandmother couldn't eat it, you shouldn't eat it.
Wow. There's a lot of things in stores that my great grandmother probably did not eat.
Probably never even saw, heard of.
Right.
There's nothing like it.
Good rule of thumb, maybe even came from the earth. It's called
Absolutely. We did a turf talk on that. Maybe you guys can watch that one.
So as the rains come down and the wind is upon us, the principal themes here is based upon our fats, our proteins, and our sugars, the source is going to dictate whether it's quality for your body to absorb and receive well, or if it's not going to.
So with Noble coming up, are people going to be allowed to eat fruit?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
It's allowed.
Oh, that's a miracle.
Right. Let's keep it simple.
And guess what else they're allowed to eat? Vegetables, right? Also a major source of glucose.
No one has ever said, wow, I've got vegetable poisoning.
Yeah.
All right? So if you are still interested in our Noble program starting this Saturday while we're talking during the rains here on Turf Talk Tuesday, you can do this virtually or in-house. You can do this from afar, pre and post test. We can measure you. Noble is a 30-day commitment to high quality foods.
Yeah.
Sign up. Reach us at gravityandoption.com. We're going to escape this Turf Talk Tuesday before we get too drenched. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one, hopefully in a drier environment. We'll see you then.